the stories that are trending. Also, I'd want to, as usual, remind you that this show comes to you live. It's a live show. It comes to you live from Asurizia number 48, Swanika Street in Abilingpe. In 46 other African countries, you can watch us via satellite. In some parts of Europe and, of course, South America as well. On the internet, this show is live on Pan-African Television's Facebook page at facebook.com/Pan-African Television, also on youtube.com/Pan-African Television. Make sure you do well to join us. If you cannot watch from the comfort of your homes, perhaps you're going to work, you're in a Trotsky, you're in an Uber boat or Yango, any of it, you can just log on to Facebook on your phone and search Pan-African TV. I think we are about 271,000 followers strong on Facebook. Make sure you follow that account, like, comment, and share. We bring you updates as and when, and yes, on our Facebook feed. Make sure you do well to follow us over there. This morning, there's so much that we are anticipating. There's so much that we are looking forward to, especially from one of the organs of government, Parliament for that matter. There's been a lot of issues, particularly in relation to some 4 MPs, 4 members of Parliament who have been thrown out by Speaker Bagban. Of course, consequently, the majority leader of Parliament or minority leader, whichever way, the member of Parliament for the Futu constituency, Honorable Afengumakin, he took the matter to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court has stayed the decision of Parliament until a final determination or resolution of this particular matter. And so, yep, the NDC, however, has been they have been resolute in their stance, especially regarding the majority status. According to them, they are the majority in Parliament and would ensure that nobody takes that away from them. And so we are looking forward to, well, I wouldn't say negative things, but we are looking forward to a great day as far as today's Parliament is concerned. Already I've heard that the majority chief whip or minority chief whip, whichever kind of whip he is the member of Parliament for the Nsawam-Adoejiri constituency, Honorable Anodonpre. He is already there. It's not yet 8 a.m., but he's already there. The chief whip of the MPP caucus in Parliament is already there. And I've also heard that the NDC's chief whip is also there. So we are looking forward to a great day as far as Ghana's legislative arm of government is concerned. Later on in the show, we'll try our best possible to connect with our parliamentary correspondent, Gregory Amwa. I understand he's already there, or perhaps he's on his way there, and so he'll be bringing us up to speed with happenings in the law-making chamber. Parliament itself is under renovation, and so if you cross to the Dome, if you just cross from Parliament to the Dome, that's where they've been sitting for the past few days. And so, yeah, it's going to happen today. Speaker Bagban would assume his seat as the Speaker of Parliament. Whatever transpires today in the Legislative House, we shall be bringing you up to speed with every detail of that. So stick and stay with Pan-African Television. We are your one-stop television channel as far as news updates are concerned. Without further ado, by the way, I shall be looking at the front pages of the various newspapers. Let's see the stories that are trending. But I want to acknowledge a few of you, those of you who are always dedicated to the show. Ken Williams, the likes of Alhaji Hamza, who watches all the way from Pig Farm, Stephen Peng, who has been tuning in from Seidu John Paul, from Tamale. Those of you watching us across the length and breadth of the country, we are extremely grateful for your time. Those of you watching us from Dagbere, Buare, it's been a minute. I was actually supposed to be there somewhere last month. Unfortunately, no, was it last month? Actually, earlier this month, I was supposed to be in Dagbere, Buare, but due to events here on the morning show, I was unable to I want to extend my warm felicitations to the good people of Dagbere Buare, the good people of Langbinsi, Wundua, Kulgona, Nalerigu, Gambaga, Samene, Yizesi, all in the Northeast region. Thank you so much for your time. I understand you always tune into this show to watch yours sincerely. Thank you so much for always doing that. Those of you watching us from the Upper West region, whether it's Jirapa or which other places do I know? Golu, yes. Golu is also in the Upper West region. Tumu, Y itself, yes, Y Central itself. I've been to Y Central I think on a couple of occasions, and special greetings to Chairman Bunas of the National Democratic Congress. Yep, greetings to all of you. Thank you so much for always doing the watching. Afajato South. I can never be on TV and never mention Afajato South. So those of you watching us from Logba, Liati, Wote, the district capital itself, Golo, Kwati, Soba, you know, all these areas. Thank you so much. You always tune in. Thank you so much for your time. Now let's head straight onto the front pages of the various newspapers. But hey, kindly let me know where you're watching us from. So send me, just log on to Facebook. We are streaming live. Go there and tell me where you are watching today's show from. I'll be more than glad to acknowledge you. I'll be more than glad to read your message. Just let me know that this you're watching from, your name is this, and you're watching from this part of the country, whether it's in the Northeast region, the Western region, the Ahafo region, the Eastern region, the Volta region, Oti, Ashanti region, Greater Accra, whichever part it is. Just let me know where you're watching us from. Let's look at the front pages of the various newspapers. I'm a bit surprised about what is the banner headline of today's Daily Graphic. I'm quite surprised that the Daily Graphic would caption, or this would be the Daily Graphic's banner headline. It has got to do with the issue I earlier discussed, the Supreme Court's decision to stay the ruling of Speaker Bagben as far as the 4 MPs who have decided to cross carpet are concerned. And this is how the Daily Graphic captures it. Speaker's declaration on 4 MPs. Supreme Court ruling binding on Parliament. Legal experts tell NDC caucus. Speaker's declaration on 4 MPs. Supreme Court ruling binding on Parliament. Legal experts tell NDC caucus. So that is the banner headline of the Daily Graphic newspaper. I'm a bit surprised, by the way. I'd reserve my reservations for another day. The reasons for which I'm surprised that the Daily Graphic newspaper, the national newspaper, or a national newspaper for that matter, would have such a caption, I'd reserve that comment for another time, but I'm quite surprised. Now, let's do some more stories on the front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. There's a picture of Dr. Yawosei Educhum. He is the education minister. There were very strong indications that he was one of the people or persons being considered for the running mate position of the New Patriotic Party, running mate to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. It wasn't to be, consequently, that had to be his former boss, that is Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh. And so, yeah, he's still at the education ministry. I don't know what his political future looks like, but there's somebody that a lot of people believed that he would have been a better choice. He had a better temperament, had a better idea, appreciated issues more, and communicated better than the current running mate to Dr. Bawumia, that is Napo for that matter. But the decision has already been taken. Like I earlier stated, I don't know what his political future looks like. But the story says, make TVET central in Africa's development strategy. Education minister charges African government. Okay. GES releases harmonized prospectus for freshers. Who wins the trophy? 3-battle in tertiary business sense challenge final today. Very interesting. But there are very interesting things also happening in our education ministry, I must say. For instance, exam papers are being marked by examiners, and I understand that one of the subjects, I think TVET, or I don't know, one of the subjects is yet to be marked. However, results have already come out and people are being asked to choose their schools. How is that? If this is true, then it appears that our education has literally been sent to the guillotine. I mean, there isn't much more I would say apart from that. So these are the stories that are trending on the front page of today's edition of the Daily Graphic newspaper. The back page, though, public advice to seek early treatment for refractive errors. Okay, so if you have an eye problem, then it means that you should seek rapid or urgent medical attention instead of waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Firewood, charcoal, silent killers, speakers at NPA forum. Okay. That's an interesting story. Let me see if I can read it. Speakers at a forum held at Kpando on liquefied petroleum gas have emphasized the health risk associated with the use of firewood and charcoal for cooking. They highlighted the severe health risks posed by the continued use of firewood and charcoal in homes, stressing that switching to LPG is not just a convenience, but a necessity to safeguard lives. The forum was part of a week-long awareness and sensitization campaign in the Volta region, put together by the National Petroleum Authority and its partners. The Volta regional tour aimed to inspire a shift in mindset and practices across the country by educating the public on the health and environmental benefits of using LPG for cooking. The forum targeted key stakeholders such as community leaders, market queens, municipal and district chief executives, and DCEs, and consumers through market engagements, town hall meetings, and community debates. The partners are the Oil Sustainability Program, OSP, under Saudi Arabia's Ministry of Energy and Digicraft Advertising. Okay, I was expecting the paper to tell us exactly what the disadvantages of using firewood or charcoal could be. But let me see if I can find it here. Quoting alarming statistics from the World Health Organization, Reverend Reku stated that smoke from firewood and charcoal was responsible for over 4 million deaths globally each year. Despite these dangers, many households in developing countries, including Ghana, still rely on these traditional fuels. He explained that women and children who spent most of their time in the kitchen were particularly vulnerable to the harmful pollutants released by firewood smoke. These pollutants are linked to deadly health conditions such as respiratory diseases, heart problems, eye damage, and even premature death. Okay, so these are some of the disadvantages of using charcoal to cook. So the NP, that is the National Petroleum Authority, they are urging me and you to do away with firewood and charcoal. They have been with us since years of yore, and we are being asked to ditch that for that is LPG, liquefied petroleum gas. Interesting. So these are stories on the front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. Away from the Daily Graphic, let's do the Daily Statesman. There's a picture of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. It says, "I'm coming with inclusive development." Bawumia declares, "Afenyo marking, we won't join NDC's chaotic maneuvers." We won't join NDC's chaotic maneuvers. So, Parliament today is going to be tasty. Already, there's a press statement, and there are some directives from the lawmaking chamber regarding what to expect as far as today's sitting at the Dome is concerned. Let me see if I can run you through that. Yep. So I think I have it here. It says, for immediate release, security measures for proceedings from Tuesday, 22nd October 2024, as part of measures put in place to ensure the safety and security of the Right Honourable Speaker, MPs and staff, honourable members are respectfully to take note of the following. All MPs, staff and members of the press will be screened through will be screened thoroughly, I beg your pardon, before the entry into the chamber. Bodyguards of MPs will not be permitted in the chamber. Vehicles will not be allowed to park around the Grand Arena. MPs are to be dropped at the designated drop-off zones within the precincts of the Accra International Conference Center. The Ghana Police Service will provide directions to the designated drop-off zone. MPs are requested to wear their parliamentary identification tags. Access to the chamber will be from 08 to 0 hours. The public will not be allowed access the public gallery until further notice, respectfully counting on the cooperation of all. Signed, Deputy Marshal of Parliament Frederick Bauer, retired. Right, so this is the press statement that has been put out from Ghana's lawmaking chamber. Very interesting. This I know for me is the standard practice. Parliamentarians are supposed to be screened before they enter the chamber. However, over the past few years, I would say, it's only when they foresee something significant happening, that's when they decide that they're going to put their house in order. And for me, I do not understand why. I simply do not understand why. But we've gotten the strongest indication yet from the National Democratic Congress, especially that today they are going to guard their latest majority status jealously. Right, and so we have the Daily Statesman on the front page. I'm coming with inclusive development. Bawumia declares Afenyo marking we won't join NDC's chaotic maneuvers. Dangbe youth angry with Mahama over insults. High Court upholds Mona's disqualification by AC. So yep, interesting story, interesting development from the High Court. Bernard Anba Tayela Mona is the flag bearer of the People's National Convention, the PNC, that is, and he was disqualified and is not on the ballot despite being the flag bearer of the PNC. According to the Electoral Commission, there were several errors in his forms which he failed to rectify, the reason or the basis for which he has been disqualified. Yesterday I saw a press statement from the EC. The High Court ruled on the matter. They ruled in favor of the Electoral Commission and they upheld the decision of the EC. However, Bernard Mona still feels hard done by with regards to what the EC did to him, and so he has indicated that he is heading to the Supreme Court to seek redress. Right, and so that's all for the front page of the Daily Statesman newspaper. Now let's move away from the Daily Statesman. Let's do the New Crusading Guide. Afenyo marking defense Supreme Court's intervention. COA boss leads green gold agenda. Projects $5 million annually from traditional medicine. I'm prepared to fight against Galamsey, Mama Africa. Okay. AMA partners das biogas. Nearly said AMA. So AMA is the Accra Metropolitan Assembly to generate what? To generate eco-friendly renewable energy. And Gadangbe chased Mahama over Kinky and Pepe comment. Court dismisses Mona's suit against EC. I mean, this story about Gandang chase or whatever, propaganda, it is a propaganda story. Charlie, I've listened to the voice, I've listened to what he said. There's absolutely no sense in the narrative being projected by some newspapers and some radio stations. Utter balderdash. I've listened to the arguments being posited by some of these radio stations. I think it was on Friday or Thursday I was coming to work, and I was hearing this on radio, that he had gone to make some comments that the Ghana people, they like their kinky. They don't want any digitalized kinky, they want their kinky. How offensive is that? Charlie, sometimes people should get serious. Some of these newspapers and your gendarmes, some of these radio stations, they are needless. They are utterly needless. Let's be serious as a people. How can you just say based on what he said, then it means that he is belittling the Ghana people, he's insulting them? Nobody has gone to chase anybody. There's nobody has gone to chase anybody. This needless propaganda, this senseless propaganda, I mean, it's high time we did away with it. It's high time we became serious as a country. Let's do some more stories if there are. Let's do some more stories if there are. These days, the slightest thing gets me angry. Like, sometimes I fail to understand why we would sit down, think with our brains, and decide that this is the best narrative to project when something happens or when somebody says something. Would use our brains to think and then arrive at the conclusion that this is the best that we could get out of a certain situation, and so let's project it. Charlie. And some of the people who write these stories, very seasoned journalists that some of us even look up to. Then you come up with such balderdash for people to read, like to project a certain propaganda. I mean, Charlie, it's high time we did away with, with that sort of, politicking. Let's do some more stories, please. Right. The business analyst says launch of Green Gold Ghana, global herbal market to hit $177.65 billion by 2029. Ghana must position itself to benefit, Professor Duncan. There will be no showdown today. Afenyo marking budget shortfalls to be substantial in Ghana and Nigeria. Fitch Solutions. Charcoal and firewood are silent killers in our kitchens. Sale of Achim mine, Newmont has not reached agreement with government. This is according to the IEA, Institute of Economic Affairs. Right, that's all for the business analysts. Do we have some more stories? On to the Chronicle. The banner headline says, NPP wants ADRA, NDC chatterbox punished for assaulting their communication officer during live radio program. Bagman got it all wrong. Freddie Blay. Alan's Yellow Army invade Kumasi for votes. NEIP unveils ambitious Baumia agenda for the youth. Okay, and right. And so there you have it for the front page of the Chronicle newspaper. Do we have some more? Right, I think we have the Daily Dispatch newspaper next. Only the courts have authority over vacated seats, not the speaker. NPP's Afenyo marking. Government grooming graduates for modern times. This is according to NAPO. There will be no showdown today. We expect the Speaker to respect the Supreme Court ruling. Afenyo marking to Speaker. Parliamentary majority is won at the polling station, not manufactured in Parliament. Baumia to NDC. Right. Very interesting. Once again, and for the umpteenth time, there's so much you are looking forward to as far as today's sitting in Parliament is concerned. It's rather unfortunate that the general public won't be allowed to go sit at the public gallery to witness proceedings. Then I also know or assume that per this directive, it also means that school children who hitherto, would go to parliaments and see their parliamentarians and take inspiration from what goes on there, so that they can also grow up and become, take inspiration and become like those people. They won't be allowed today into the public gallery. So very interesting. Now let's move away from that and go to the Daily Guide newspaper. Today's edition: MP's power struggle, Supreme Court orders served on Parliament. MP's power struggle, Supreme Court orders served on Parliament. Nana campaigns for Ayoko Botche's Commonwealth bid. Okay. $5 billion green gold agenda unveiled. AMA does biogas partner to generate renewable energy. And Bagbin was wrong. Freddie Blay. That's Freddie Blay's newspaper, by the way. It's on the front page, top right corner. Interesting. Now let's do the Daily Searchlight. Kwehu Hene distilled or not? Queen Mother declares Abetifi Hene is now acting as Kwehu Man Hene. Green gold agenda unveiled, set to generate over $5 billion annually for Ghana. Stakeholders' involvement key in preventing cocoa smuggling. This according to Cocoa Board. Paramount Chief of Peki commends NPP for doing a lot for the country. Okay. Baumia has changed turbulent political landscape with his campaign of issues. Paramount Chief of Peki. Ayo. So there you have it for the front page of the Daily Searchlight newspaper. Do we have some more? I think we have already done the New Crusading Guide. Yes, I think we have. I think we've already done the New Crusading Guide. Okay. MIF to rake in $6 billion in mineral royalties in 10 years. This is coming from the Ankara newspaper. Businessman dares NDC to start 24-hour campaign. Partner government to tackle gold smuggling. Minister urges Minerals and Income Investment Fund Duka and Yudoho tour small-scale mining sites in Western region. Right. That's all for the Anchor newspaper. Do we have some more papers? Yes, we have the National Voice. Bagbin lacks authority to declare vacated seats. Afenyo Markin. Retract your reckless, kinky, and pepper comment. Gandangbe to Mahama. Very silly story. Very, very silly, senseless story. Planned sale of Newmont's Achim mine legally defective. IEA. Free SHS quality has improved. This is coming from NAPO. And that's all for the front page of the National Voice newspaper. Now, shall we do some more papers? Yes, we have the National Enquirer. Election 2024. Mahama reaffirms pledge to support startups in poultry, other small businesses. Legislature, judiciary tussle. Will Bagbin succumb to Gertrude orders as Parliament seats today? Nana Oyebampoado supports Adenta constituency with logistics. Right. So that's all for the front page of the National Enquirer newspaper. Do we have any more? Hey. Which one too is this one? All right, let's do the Patriot Press. It's my first time seeing this. It's gratifying to hear the positive impact of policies implemented by NPP government. This is according for Baumia's chairman Ibrahim Baba Bukari vows to deliver 7 seats to NPP. NPP Germany commends Baumia for scholarship initiative, and ZDF appeals for extension. Right, so there you have it for the front page of the Patriot Press newspaper. Any more newspapers? Right, I think we are done. That's all for today's edition, or that's what time will permit us for today's edition of the newspaper headlines. And coming up next, we have the newspaper review segment of the show. Ohima Echajikum would be holding the fort. I know that you wouldn't want to miss. I think today's a Tuesday, so I'm sure it's going to be a ladies' affair, girls' affair here on the show. My name is ALORMASOR. It's always been a pleasure coming your way on the morning show, Good Morning Africa, live here on Pan African Television. Do not move a muscle. Do not go away. Within the next few minutes, Ohima will be seated with a guest, and they'll be discussing all the issues from African story to all the issues making the rounds here in Ghana. Do have a pleasant morning.
Fix My Ride Company Limited makes customers feel good and proud. Fix My Ride Company Limited has experts who fix accident cars, making them look like brand new cars. They provide services such as engine tuning, overhauling, body works, oven spraying, air conditioning service, upholstery, electrical works, automatic gearbox repairs, maintenance, and all general car servicing. Fix My Ride Company Limited also has towing cars to tow cars from customers at no cost, as well as giving customers cars to use when their cars are involved in an accident. Thinking about fixing your old car or selling it? Just give us a call. Locate Fix My Ride Company Limited adjacent the